And joining me to discuss the situation in the United States is the editor of Pan-African Newswire, Abayomi Azikiwe. Good to have you join us, Abayomi Azikiwe. Now, you can say a lot of things about former President Barack Obama. One of the things that he's largely commended for is his oratory prowess. Do you think that he delivered last night?
He gave a very impassioned speech. He decried the path that the United States has taken since he left office. We see that clearly every day. The U.S. has the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst public health crisis in over a century. COVID-19 has impacted more people in this country than any other country in the world. More people have died in this country than any other country in the world. So I think he's quite concerned, along with millions of other people who live in the United States.
All right, so we saw several attacks by President Trump on Twitter yesterday, making several allegations against former President Obama. Those attacks, is that what Democrats were looking for? Will it work in their favor, or will it work in the favor of President Trump?
President Trump attacks all the time, all day, all night. He's on his Twitter at all hours of the night. And these attacks may hold among his own core constituency, but they ring pretty hollow among people who are being impacted by the social crisis that exists now in the United States. President Obama cannot run for office again. So Trump and Pence, they have to start focusing on the programs that they're going to pose as alternatives to what the Democrats are saying. And right now it's not clear. If they keep saying that the economy is strong, that is not true. If they say that the educational system, the service sector are formidable, that is incorrect as well. There's a lot of uncertainty now in the country, and I think the Democrats are going to play to that uncertainty among the electorate.
All right, so we've seen several speakers over the past few days speaking rather eloquently, but the American election comes down to not just the popular vote, but the Electoral College. And in 2016, we saw that that's how Trump beat Hillary Clinton. So what, beyond these speeches being given at the Democratic National Convention, what more can they do to ensure that they win the Electoral College?
The key battleground states that Hillary Clinton lost in 2016 are also going to be very important this year. Michigan, for example, where I'm broadcasting from. We can look at Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Ohio, Florida. These are going to be very important in the stretch of the election. And I think that the Democrats are going to have to get a huge turnout. And even that is problematic, considering the damage that's being done now to the United States Postal Service. During the primaries for local elections earlier this month, there were serious problems with the Postal Service. The president has appointed a Postmaster General, which is systematically dismantling the Postal Service, which impacts paychecks, which a lot of people receive in the mail, pension checks, Social Security checks, and just routine business and mail parcels that are being interfered with. And this is deliberate on the part of the Republican administration in order to not only attempt to privatize the post office, but also to tamper with the upcoming elections in November, because most people, at least many people, are going to be voting by mail because of the ongoing pandemic. It's a danger for people to gather in large crowds. If they're not able to social distance, it's going to be a serious problem in terms of the proliferation of this disease.
All right, so let's look at the breaking story just coming out from the United States. The arrest of Steve Bannon, who works closely with President Trump. Will that hurt him?
I think so. Even though Bannon was fired, he was a chief strategist during the 2016 electoral campaign and also the first year of President Trump in office. Bannon is a ideological racist, a white supremacist. He makes no effort to hide that, and he's very important in regard to mobilizing that constituency within the United States. But it could be damaging because it will distract and deflect attention away from whatever Trump is trying to say that is positive about his tenure in office. Many people are going to be looking at this, particularly within the media, and what role Trump himself or others in his administration may have had in this matter. Trump made a big deal about building a wall along the border with Mexico. The wall has still not been built, and there's still problems associated with the economy in this country, even though almost nobody is crossing into the United States right now because of the public health crisis. So this is going to focus attention on his failed policy in regard to immigration, as well as his ties with white supremacist organizations in the United States.
All right, we'll see how things play out in the coming days. Editor, Pan-African Newswire, Abayomi Azikiwe, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.